Hey folks, welcome back to the Dev Influencers podcast. I'm your host, Charles Max Wood, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the technical skills here real quick. So this is probably, I'm starting with this because I started with this in the last episode, but this is probably actually the most obvious, and I don't want to say it's like the least important piece, but it's, how do I put it? It's kind of the baseline thing where, like, if you don't have it for a foundation, then you're kind of messed. You don't have anything to base the rest of the things on. But once you reach a certain level of competency with your technical skills, then then you really need to be focused on your other skills, right? I mean, there's a certain level of how do I put it? There's a certain level of mastery, a certain level of recognition that comes with mastery. That's a good way to put it, right? So just to give you an example, when we started Ruby Rogues, there was a guy on Ruby Rogues, James Edward Gray, and he had, like, I don't want to say he memorized, but he was well regarded as an expert in knowing, like, all the standard libraries for Ruby, right? He had, like, read all the docs. He had gone through and he had really gotten to know all the stuff in all of them, right? He knew all the tricks to all the things. He had written a couple of things that were in the standard library, right? He really knew his stuff, right? And so that really helped his reputation. And so his technical skills really played into that. But for the most part, after a certain level of competency with everybody else, it really didn't help. And for him, it was really a reputation thing, not a technical skills thing, right? His reputation was built around his technical skills, not the other way around. And so, building technical skills is important. You shouldn't neglect it for some of the other skills or for building reputation or relationships. But if this is your sole focus, you are hamstringing yourself, right? And so I want to talk about building technical skills, but I want to put it within the proper context. And so that's what I am driving at here, is I just want to really dive in and say, look, building your skills is important, especially if you're working for somebody else and they're paying you to be a technical expert, right? Don't neglect this, because I don't think it's fair to employers. I don't think it's fair to clients. I don't think it's fair to people who are paying you to be a technical expert to neglect it. But if you are out there trying to build a business or build something else based on, being an expert, you have to build the other skills too. And you need to spend more time building your reputation and building your recognition and building your relationships than you think. Okay. So go and spend a little bit more time, maybe an outsized proportion of your time, on those things, and then come back to these things and be targeted in your technical skills. In fact, when I give people advice on building technical skills, I tell them to be targeted. So let's talk about a strategy here on technical skills and how to build them, right? Because this is something people ask about all the time too, right? It's like, okay, what do I need to be learning, right? There's so much growing. There's so much going on in the tech community, Chuck. There's new stuff every day, and I don't even know what to learn. JavaScript, it's on the new platform. It's even in my light bulbs. What do I do, Chuck? I can't program light bulbs. You don't need to program light bulbs, okay? Are you getting paid to program light bulbs? Well, if you are, then maybe you need to program light bulbs, right? But for the rest of us, right, we're doing JavaScript on the web. And then some of us are doing JavaScript on mobile. And then there are a bare few of us who are doing it on, like, IoT or something, right? Or if you're doing .NET, you're doing it, wherever you're doing .NET, right? So learn the skills that are going to get you where you want to go. Where do you want to go, right? Where is that part of your career taking you, right? Are you doing a bunch of stuff on AWS? Maybe you need to learn AWS, right? Maybe you need to not focus so much on JavaScript right now, right? Maybe the biggest bang for your buck's over there. Maybe the biggest bang for your buck is in some other technology, machine learning, right? Maybe the biggest bang for your buck is in some other area that's completely unrelated. Maybe the biggest bang for your buck is the fundamentals, right? Maybe you don't understand the base level of how the language that you work in works, right? Maybe the biggest bang for your buck is somewhere else. Maybe the biggest bang for your buck is some out there thing that's a high level architectural advanced thing. Maybe that's where it is, right? So sit down and figure out, okay, where's my career going? Where do I want it to go? And what do I need to learn to get there, right? And then make a plan. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Make a plan. Now, one other thing I want to call out is your plan is not permanent, right? You're going to get down that road and you're going to be like, this plan sucks, right? I do this all the time, right? I'll make a 3-year plan. I'll get 3 months into my plan. I'll be like, you know what? 80% of this plan is awesome, right? The 20% of this plan sucks. 20% of this plan is not where Chuck wants to go, okay? And I do this for life, right? I tend to plan life. I do a 3-year plan, and I work toward it, right? I have a 3-year plan right now. I'm 6 months in, right? And I sat down and I figured it out, and I was like, "This is where I want to be in 3 years, right? I'm gonna have a Mustang. I'm gonna have a Mustang in 2.5 years. I don't know if you all know that, but I am. I have cherry red Mustang. I'm gonna have so many speeding tickets. it's gonna be scary, right? Cherry red Mustang, Chuck's cherry red Mustang. So many Instagram pictures. Anyway, and not one of those like cheesy ones where you go, it's like a compact car. I don't know what anyway, rant over. But yeah, so where was I? Off the Mustang. That I would. So yeah. So I have this plan, right? Working on the Ironman, right? Good part of the plan. I like that part of the plan, right? I signed up for a swim team. That was fun, and it sucked, right? So both good and bad parts of the plan, right? Because it sucked, right? But I have to go through the suck. But it's good, right? It's good for me, and I know that. But you go through other parts of the plan, right? Where it's, I realized that one of the things that I had put in there was I was going to be a podcast coach for like business people. And I realized that I was chasing too many balls, right? That part of the plan sucked. Dropped that. I dropped it. I just, I may come back to it, but I can't focus on it right now because it's too many things, right? So I changed my plan. That was not that hard, right? I just dropped it, right? I refocused devchat.tv. I changed what I wanted out of devchat.tv. Again, not that hard. I mean, my income goals for devchat.tv didn't change. It was just the way that I'm going to get there, right? So, kind of the ladder that I'm going to climb. That kind of got rejiggered, right? And so it's not that bad, right? So make that plan, right? I want to be a systems architect, so you go take a couple of systems architect classes, do some Pluralsight courses or Udemy courses or something, right? And you go take some of those courses and you're like, oh my gosh, if I have to do this every day, no, I'm not doing this, right? Or maybe you get in and you're like, domain-driven design is awesome, right? You get in, you love it. Okay, great. Go do that. That sounds cool, right? But at least right? And so you can go make a plan. You go make a learning plan, and then you go learn that stuff, right? You go bone up your technical skills, right? I want to be a podcaster. Great. You probably ought to go learn some basic editing, right? You probably ought to go learn some basic mic skills, right? So that you know that you don't have to eat your mic, right? And you know that you don't want to be too far away from it, so you can't hear it. It can't hear you, right? So you probably want to get like a coach for that. You may want to get a coach to become an architect, right? Wherever you want to go, right? So those kinds of technical skills, but that kind of thing, right? And you probably ought to get some kind of coach for your career, right? I was just reading this book, Who Not How, which we're going to get to in organizational skills, I think, is we'll talk a little bit about that, and some of the personal skills stuff. But he talks about Michael Jordan having like a strength and fitness coach, right? Tim Grover, somebody Grover, but he had a coach, right, to help him stay in shape and to do conditioning and stuff like that, right? And that makes a lot of sense, right? And so, yeah, go find somebody, go find a mentor, go find a coach, go find somebody, right? But be on top of those technical skills and stay there, right? And so you've got to have those skills. You got to be targeted. You got to know what you're doing, right? Now, if you're looking to do the dev influencer thing, right, and you want to build the reputation and stuff like that, I can teach you the technical skills for that. And then that's what the dev influencer stuff's for, right? And so if you're looking at, and that's why you're listening to the show, I'm assuming, right? And so if you want to learn those skills, go to devinfluencers.com/apply. We'll do a strategic call. We'll talk through it. We'll kind of get you aimed in the right direction, figure out if I fit into the plan. If I don't, great, right? If I do, great. I mean, I'm all for if I can help you, getting you into the accelerator, making a plan, getting that going. If I'm not, I probably know somebody who can help you, and we'll make that work. I like making the money. Yeah, I like helping people, but if I'm not the guy, I don't want to rip people off. So let's get on the strategic call and figure it out, right? If I can get you pointed in the right direction, we can get you down the road. Let's do it. But yeah, I mean, that's what the technical skills are all about is just building the building blocks and helping you figure out how to get there. Right. Now some of the technical skills are going to be how to frickin' hire the right person. Right. Cause I don't want you editing your stuff. Right. I don't want you posting your stuff. I don't want you, there are a lot of things I don't want you doing. I want you out there being the expert. I don't want you out there being the dog and pony show to, post to WordPress, because that sucks. And, you can hire somebody for dirt cheap to do that stuff. So hire somebody for dirt cheap to do that stuff. But anyway, so we'll teach you the technical skills for all that stuff. We'll help you put it all together. We'll help you build your audience and all the technical skills that go with that, so you can train somebody, or we'll just give you the training videos, right? The technical skills are, here are the videos, right? But we'll get you there. We'll do it, and that's kind of the deal. So if that's what you're looking for, you're trying to build those technical skills, then check us out, devinfluencers.com/apply. And we'll dive into some of the personal skills on the next episode. And until then, max out.